A piece of rope that floats. If it's long enough, then it might be useful. It's very heavy. A body! Oh, it was weighed down by the anchor. If I can retrieve the anchor, I can use it as a grappling hook. There. I can see something. This butt is still dry, despite the surrounding damp. It was thrown here not so long ago. Let's be careful. The bars are complete. Oops, this bar... The bars on this grate are completely... The bars on this... The bar... This will be useful. Wire. The bars... A boat! I'm on the right track. I must cross the canal to see who landed here. A boat! This must be a service trapdoor used to release the water in the event of the sewers overflowing. An iron ring. This must... The trapdoor is horizontal. First try. Now let's pull the boat back here. The boat is tied up on the other bank. It's impossible to pull it back to me. An old scarf with blood on it. This bit of iron seems new. and looks like a piece from ordinary machinery. Footprints. Someone has been here recently. Footprints. Someone has been here recently. Incredible! This grate is new and has a mechanical locking system. Open. Come on, John. Courage.
And here's another. See how you like that? Oh, and how does this feel? I don't think you like that much. That'll teach him. Let's see if I can break.
Holmes.
I am so very glad to see you, Watson.
Whee! Yes, he's alive! The bad guys had better watch out now. Grandpa's alive, and he is a good man. I knew that he was. Uh-oh, they're going to be sorry now. My grandpa ruled. Yes, and my grandpa saved him. Read it.
You are alive. I don't know what to feel, relief or regret.
Watson, my friend.
You are not in a good state, Holmes.
Neither are you.
I suppose not. Can you walk?
Not without your help.
Why did you fake your own death? And who were those men?
I have to carry on with the investigation. Alone. John, I'm innocent. I'm not an accomplice of those men. Look at me. Do I look as though I could be their boss? Am I in a position to give such orders?
What a relief. Oh, my God, what a relief. But how?
Curare, hemlock, a few Indian plants, and sheep's blood to create the impression of death. A pathologist who owed me a favor for the death certificate.
Holmes, I was talking about this affair of...
I will explain everything, my friend, but we must leave here.
Yes, let's go back to Baker Street. I'll help you. Lean on me.
Home at last. I have missed this old room very much, Watson.
I put everything back in place after Baines went through it, but I didn't stay here. I couldn't face it.
Sit down, my friend. It is time for you to know the full details of this case. First of all, I must apologize for the distress that this has caused you, and for my behavior, which was, I know, quite abominable. I can only hope that by the end of this explanation you will understand that I behaved in such a way only to protect you, and that it caused me great pain to see your trust and confidence in me ebbing away.
From whom or what did you wish to protect me?
From Professor Moriarty.
Moriarty?
We should not have taken pity on him in that Swiss asylum. Do you remember during the case of the Awakened? Our indulgence has cost us dear today.
He's responsible for the bishop's murder?
Yes, but that was only a small detail in his plan. A detail which he had to eliminate, as it compromised the whole of his diabolical project. The bishop had in his possession a document which he suspected as being one component of a larger puzzle. The ramifications were unknown to him, but he considered the matter as sufficiently important that he should consult me. The day before our macabre discovery, his nephew, who was in his confidence, brought to him an important element which helped him understand Moriarty's grand plan. It was at that moment that two men began to comprehend the seriousness of the situation. The bishop then decided to contact me.
Against his nephew's wishes? Was that what they argued about?
Yes. But Moriarty found out that the bishop knew of his projects, and he arranged for his murder. The murderers were also supposed to bring back the document that the nephew, young Hampford, found. but they were unable to open the safe.
What was the document?
Evidence of Prince Woodville's implication in the project.
The nephew must have retrieved it from the Royal Archives, where he worked. A link to the crown.
Yes, Moriarty wanted to overthrow Queen Victoria and place the prince on the throne of England.
But that's impossible. He would have needed to create an incredible coup d'etat.
Patience, Watson. First of all, Moriarty placed his pawns so they might begin to develop and encourage a tense atmosphere, ready to discredit the Queen and thereby raise Woodville's popularity.
And provoke a famine, so that the prince's soup kitchens could begin distributing food and he would appear as a hero.
Exactly. Moriarty quickly learned that I was making inquiries as to his plan and, without wishing to sound vain, he knew that I was the only person capable of upsetting his schemes. He therefore set up a plan that I be discredited and thought of as a criminal.
And you played along with him.
Precisely. Allowing him to believe that he had succeeded was the best way of ensuring that his attention was no longer fixed on me.
Why didn't you say anything to Scotland Yard?
Did you not think it strange that Inspector Lestrade was away for weeks?
What? You mean to say that Baines
Was working for Moriarty.
I understand. The bishop's murderers were in the hands of this traitor, and you were therefore at a dead end after our investigations at the opium den.
Yes, and Baines' authority allowed him access to the police archives. He changed and forged all the charges in the documents that you saw at Judge Beckett's house. It was also he who substituted the Samoan necklace for a vulgar copy.
So that was why the judge went to Farley's, to obtain Baines's false information.
Precisely, but they each found themselves as instruments in Moriarty's strange orchestra. Judge Beckett received entire books full of charges against me, and a journalist such as Farley will not hold back when he gets the chance to make the front page of all the newspapers in England. With regard to Farley, it was a mere case of professional misconduct.
And to think that I held you responsible for the explosion at the judge's house. What a relief! But why did Moriarty have him killed?
He was on the point of discovering that all the documents supplied by Farley, and therefore by Baines, were false. Exactly the opposite to what our enemy was anticipating.
And where did the poison fit in all this?
Unfortunately, I do not possess all the information on this subject. The first time that we saw the effects of this substance on the body of the bishop, the poison was evidently only at an experimental stage. It was much too potent to do anything with.
Effectively. But in the second case, Kurtz, I didn't notice a great advance.
However, there was one. The poison was no longer fatal.
Yes, but the madness was still there. I should remind you that he attempted to devour his own dogs.
Correct, Watson, but it was not the second case, as you supposed. Remember the number of other incidences of madness, either collective or individual, relayed in the press in the days prior to it.
You mean to say?
That Moriarty tested this dangerous mixture on a large number of guinea pigs, apparently with little success, as all those people are now dead. I say apparently, because I do not have the least idea as to the result Moriarty was hoping for.
And that's where Hans comes in, isn't it?
Moriarty needed him to devise the substance's final formula.
And so you helped Hans to escape, so he might lead you to it.
Yes, but things did not go as I had planned. The professor's men got their hands on him just after his escape.
And you lost his trail.
Yes, but I doubted that Moriarty would take Hans to his lair. To find him, I had only one trail, the bomb placed at the judge's house.
The trail of the 3 Russian brothers.
I found out about the mill by having the anarchists' trail followed by the children in my own secret police. Once again, their help was a determining factor. As regards knowing where to locate Moriarty's lair, I hoped to find the information in the attic of the water mill. I got to it only just in time before Baines turned up.
And you were stuck then, weren't you? Allowing him to arrest you would have meant certain death.
regrettably. But Moriarty's plan worked in any case, as after killing Baines, I became England's most wanted man for the murder of a Scotland Yard inspector.
And so you had to make sure that people forgot about you. Therefore, you orchestrated your own death so that you might continue your investigation discreetly. Oh, that was a terrible time for me, Holmes.
I am sorry, my dear fellow.
Well, the important thing is that you are well and truly alive.
Yes, but it is not over yet. Moriarty will take action one day or another.
You were saying that you had found Moriarty's hideout. Where is it?
In an abandoned fun fair on the outskirts of London. It is quite certain that they are all there. Shielman, the Prince, and of course, Moriarty.
If Moriarty puts the Prince on the throne, he'll have his hands on the reins of the kingdom. Her colonies, her diplomatic network, her riches, everything.
Yes, including the army, the war fleet, everything he needs to help him conquer Europe. And eventually, I suspect, the world.
Holmes, we have to be quick. His plan hasn't been put into action yet. Perhaps it's not too late.
Let us go immediately, Watson.
Do you really believe that Moriarty is in there, behind that fence?
Something in the wind seems to suggest it, Watson.
I have a peculiar acid taste in my mouth, if that is what you mean, Holmes.
Well, yes. The air is tainted still with toxic fumes from the factory chimneys.
I believe that I read about this place. The fun fair was abandoned after the factory was built so close by. It was said that even the ice cream tasted bitter. Aren't you curious about the warehouse down there? There seems to be some strange activity taking place inside.
Strange and in keeping with Moriarty's activities. Let us go and see what they're up to.
That could be used as a weapon in a necessity. With this cable car, we can get up onto the warehouse roof. Cutting pliers. They could be useful. There is a metal ladder stuck under the cable car. There is a metal ladder stuck. This padlock seems... I can't... A crank. The lever is stuck. The lever is... The lever is... The lever is... This motor is from the cable car. The crank is in... I can't do that. I can't do... Empty. Judging by the smell, I would say... There's a little petrol left, but not enough to start the motor. Vodka. There's a little...
Russian alcohol. Holmes, the three brothers.
This motor is... empty. Just... empty. Here's what we can use for fuel.
There are 2 guards in front of the main entrance. We will have to find another way in.
This chest.
A bottle of motor oil.
This motor is... let us hope it works.
It works.
We are going to separate. I will find a way into the fair, and you must investigate the warehouse.
Very well, I'll do that.
There is no one on the roof. If the machine should get out of control, then just use the brake. There ought to be one.
I should hope so. Anyway, there's no other choice. And when I've found out what is going on down there, what should I do then?
Come and join me in the fairground. You can follow my route to get over the fence. Then you should find me easily enough. Good luck, my dear fellow.
Come on, John. Courage! No one seems to have noticed me. Now I must try to find out what is going on. The bags contain rubble. They're tied up with good, solid... I'll keep the rope. It's a miracle that this reservoir is standing. The feet are being eaten away by rust. carts from the soup kitchens. They appear to be queuing up. A large dry It's too dark inside this reservoir. It's impossible to see anything, but I can hear a slight lapping of water. It's too dark in... It's impossible to reach the water. It's too far away. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's... It's a... I must find out what is going on inside this warehouse, but have to be careful. The place is full of guards. Empty bottle. It's too dangerous to go any further. The window is too dirty to allow me to see inside. My cloth is too dry. The window is too dirty to allow me to see inside. So, it is inside these warehouses that Prince Woodville's canteens on wheels are filled up, and Hans is there to add his poison. That siren is a signal to open the doors and let out the carts of poisoned soup, destined for London. I wonder what Holmes is doing at this moment.
Here is a good place to try and get through. This crate isn't large enough for us to get over the wall, nor to see what is on the other side. The way is clear. Good, I'm in. Now I must find Moriarty. The stand's owner must live here. The stand's accounts book. No, it is unnecessary. No. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. No. No. A target from a firing range. It depicts a lion. The stand's accounts book. The cover is dented. Curious. Let's look at the book's secret. The stand's account. Secret accounts. The stand's owner must do something other than manage a simple coconut shy, and there is a strange poem about animals. It's the stand's till. There is no money, but there is a wooden target. Let's see. A firing range for children. They have to throw leather balls at the figures of wild animals to knock them. It's clear that there is a link between the poem in the secret accounts and the animal-shaped targets on the stand. It seems to me that there is something behind this poster, but it is stuck fast. Elementary. There is a hiding place here. Interesting. I can't see a keyhole. If the guard sees me, he will sound the alarm. I must neutralize him, but discreetly. There are probably others, and a fight would attract their attention. A target from a fire. A telephone line. Interesting. It comes from that large building. I need something. A telephone line. There we are. It is simplicity itself. The Stan's slush fund. I wonder what happened to the owner that he should leave without his savings.
You there! Who are you? Alert!
It's open. This building was a menagerie. I'm in the service passage. Oh, what a smell. There must have been wild animals here once. This cage has been blocked with planks so that the interior is hidden from view. A large syringe for animals of a considerable size. Old bandages. Everything points to that cage having been used to treat sick animals. A key. Apparently, it's a medicine chest for... The only thing intact is this bottle of ether. If the guard sees me, he will sound the alarm. I must neutralize him, but discreetly. There are probably others, and a fight would attract their attention. There. That should interest our guard. I need something. Good. My little stratagem is in place. All I need to do is to wait for him to come back here. To shut him up, and quickly. Perfect. Thanks to the ether, this baller will sleep for a long time. Another guard. This place is full of them. I cannot risk a confrontation. He'll see me coming and I'll lose the element of surprise. I'll need to find a way to trap him. Bearded lady. Be careful of those boxes. They are balanced, one on top of the other. It would take very little to knock them over. I wonder... A rail system is fixed to the ceiling, and a hook is hanging from it. It must be used for moving heavy and bulky objects. Thanks to this... This large, empty aquarium held the fair's main attraction. The mermaid, Poseidon's daughter. I suppose it was on this small stage that the monsters were presented to the public. Ah, here's something interesting. Hans's diary. What a dreadful diary. That Hans is the only real monster ever to have frequented this attraction. The bearded lady kept the key to this exhibition. Interesting. Here's what I've been looking for. Thanks to this mechanism, the hook This cage is still occupied, not by one of the monsters. He's still alive, but he's barely human now. Moriarty must have tested his poison on this poor fellow. If he was freed, he would leap at the throat of the first person he saw. I could easily open the cage by raising the door, but that poor man would leap on me immediately. I could easily... People must have been locked up in here, and they are certain to have been mistreated. The cage is held shut with this bar. It only needs to be pulled away to open it. The crank is in place. The hook is above the cage of this poor wretch. There, the rope is in place. This way I can open the poor fellow's cage from the outside without taking any risks. The trap is in place. Now I only need to get the guard to go inside the freak show. The guard must have been warned. I need to get out of here. The guard is inside. I must close the door quickly. Closed. I must find a way of neutralizing the guard inside. Well, I'll be leaving you. I'm sure you have a great many things to do. But what have we got here?
Ah, there you are, Holmes. Did you have any problems?
None, apart from a few small things. What have you found out about this warehouse?
Prince Woodville's soup is loaded and contaminated by hands.
And in the direction of Whitechapel. What's... In a few hours, Moriarty will have at his disposal a formidable army, more powerful and more terrible than anything that has ever existed.
What?
The soup is destined for a poverty-stricken, starving population who have been conditioned for months against the ruling powers. Moriarty won't have any trouble in sending thousands of raving mad people to ravage the city, sowing death and destruction. No force would be able to resist them, not the police, not even the army. A perfect army, knowing neither fear nor pity. A tidal wave of humanity which will cover London and will fall away again, leaving a city of desolation behind it.
What horror! And the chaos will only make Moriarty's coup d'etat even easier. But how will he guard himself against this bloodthirsty crowd?
The chaos will only last for the time he needs.
You mean to say?
That these poor wretches will all die. 48 hours after ingesting the soup, according to our good Dr. Shielman. So the victims will be joined by their executioners. An immense mass murder. What Moriarty would call clearing up after work, no doubt. Good. Have you found a way of stopping Hans's process?
Yes, I think so. If we can weaken the reservoir's feet with the explosives, for example, it will collapse and take the building down with it.
Good work.
What are you looking at?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never. Look, Holmes, there appears to be some sort of control panel.
With an antenna, whatever its purpose might be.
These caravans must be inhabited. Look, there is smoke coming out of one of them.
I can hear noises. We aren't alone. We had best be careful.
This ladder is only held back by a bolt. This ladder This stall is a washroom. I can see water basins inside. The door can be blocked from the outside. Interesting.
Look, Holmes, the three Russian brothers.
With a coal stove and dynamite.
What should we do next, Holmes?
And then the dynamite would be very useful for blowing up the tank.
Good idea. But in order that we can get it, we'll have to get them out of there without their knowing we are here. The best thing to do is to carry on exploring this place, Holmes.
An international anarchist's manifesto written in several languages. A metal plate, very solid. A wanted poster in Russian, with the portraits of the three brothers on it. It is the chimney. I could smoke them out by blocking the pipe, but the air in the caravan would take several minutes before becoming unbreathable. The effect must be immediate and a total surprise. Apparently, they are more interested in games than in cleanliness. Gallons of vodka.
This place must have been magnificent.
Shh. Watson, look. On the stage. Prince Woodville.
And it is with an immense pride that I take possession of the attributes of the crown, and swear in front of you to serve my people with... Gentlemen, who are you? I don't believe I know you.
Not as yet, Your Royal Highness, but I am overjoyed that you are familiar with the crowning ceremony.
Of course. A good king should know it.
That makes my duty so very much easier. Let me introduce myself. My name is Howard Sawbury, and I am in charge of the aforementioned protocol and the master of ceremonial events at Buckingham Palace.
Yes, and I'm Sir John Cannard, in charge of the peacocks in the royal gardens.
Congratulations, Sir John. Excellent imagination.
I am pleased to meet you, gentlemen, but what brings you here?
Do you mean to say that no one has informed you? Have you not been in the city? It is Queen Victoria, of course. She has been dethroned.
Really? So soon? Well, according to my special advisor, Professor Moriarty, that should not take place until a few days from now.
The people have decided otherwise, sir, and now they're calling for their new sovereign, the benevolent, most understanding Prince Woodville.
Ah, gentlemen, you bring me great news. My good people have carried out their duty. I can finally take my rightful place, and happily before the bombs detonated.
Actually, sir, we're here to warn you that you are in grave danger.
What do you mean?
Among your close advisors, I regret there are traitors who are already plotting against you. We have reliable information that these terrorists are part of an international anarchist network, and...
Ah, gentlemen, I know who you are talking about. I'm sure you mean the strange gentleman employed by Professor Moriarty. Asians or,
Russians, sir.
Whatever. These men must be stopped before their bombs explode.
They're bombs?
Yes, Sir John. Bombs placed all over London. I was not at all fond of the idea, but Professor Moriarty was quite adamant.
Do you know where these bombs are precisely?
Of course not. But I do know that those anarchists created their exploding devices here.
You must tell us everything that you know about the bombs, sir.
Why should I? You're not a pyrotechnist, are you? I must speak urgently with Professor Moriarty.
They are dangerous anarchists who have committed murderous acts in their own country against the Tsar's line.
That is impossible. The professor assured me of their loyalty.
Moriarty does not require you anymore, sir. He does not wish to give you the throne. He desires it for himself.
The devil.
Sir, we are going to help you. You must tell us where the bombs are planted. The people will never forget a sovereign who began his reign by saving his subjects from such atrocities.
I confess that I do not know where they are. But surely the Russian anarchists must know.
What do the bombs look like?
They appear very complicated. It is impossible to defuse them. I remember that they were put together here, in a wooden stall between two tents, next to the Russian caravans. They were the only ones who had a key, besides that traitor Moriarty, of course.
We're going to try to open that stall.
Wait, I demand an explanation. If everyone is plotting against me, then how do I know that you are not also party to the plot?
But we...
Bring me Professor Moriarty, Mr. Sawbury, without delay. Sir John will remain here with me.
I should be able to remove the prince without endangering Watson's life. I should be able to remove the prince.
To be a king means also to be prudent, and that is why I prefer to have you here as reserve. You are my guarantee.
I understand, sir. But in return, you must understand that this places me in a somewhat disagreeable situation.
Yes, I understand. But the reasons of the state
are unfathomable, I know. And I came here to render you a service.
Come,
there is a label
let us be
underneath this
serious for
lever.
1 moment.
Magician's
What could a peacock
trap
trainer
door,
possibly do
middle
for
of
me?
the
You
stage,
underestimate not
exactly
only
where
me,
the prince
sir, but
is
also
standing.
My birds.
I can't
believe
do
that.
that.
The prominence of well-trained peacocks would be the
These
ultimate
tangled
in royal
ropes
chic
are holding
during
back
your
the
crowning
curtains.
ceremony.
Do you really think so?
He's not moving. He appears to have passed out.
But he could come around at any moment and sound the alarm.
Yes, before leaving the theatre, we must make certain that that does not happen.
Not so long ago, those words coming from you would have frozen my blood.
Rest assured, my friend, that Sherlock Holmes no longer exists.
Get rid of him now. Hey, presto, it's magic. No more paranoid Prince.
Well done, Holmes. Look, Holmes, Prince Woodville lost his ring during the fight. We must find...
There is an enormous diamond in the middle of this ring. I will give it to the police later.
What were these dummies at the front of the stage used for?
The prince put them there to represent his public.
Watson, the situation is getting worse. It is no longer a question of simply blowing up the tank, but rather of saving London from a series of attacks. The Russian anarchists construct their bombs here. They must know what has been targeted. This magician has a leather belt, very solid. There is a small bag attached to it. The illusionist's smoke powder. Abracadabra!
Magic powder and a metal plate. The revolutionaries won't resist it. Hide, Watson.
Water! Water!
The way is clear. Perfect.
I can hear the chinking of a bottle and talk in Russian. The three brothers are quietly getting drunk. Perfect. We must hurry, Holmes. Each chime tells us that the preparation of the poison soup is advancing.
I'm coming, Watson. I just need to unblock the chimney.
This caravan is as disgusting as the first one.
This piece of art shows the hatred the anarchists feel towards Prince Woodville and everything he represents. The names of the targets are written in Russian and are unreadable, in my case, that is, and apparently the brothers have made notes before every name. The dynamite shells are empty. A pity.
A small saw. We might need this.
Let's see. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
Wire.
Let's see. That's not right. 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 That's not. That's not. That's. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. If these bombs explode, then I believe that the realm will be plunged into one of the gravest crises in its history.
What are you going to do with this information, Holmes?
Hand it across to Inspector Lestrade.
How?
By telephoning him. The haunted house is connected to the telephone exchange. I'm going to try to slip in there discreetly.
Shall I accompany you?
You can help me to get in, but while I search for the telephone, you should collect as much information as you can about the bombs. The explosive experts at Scotland Yard will need it.
Understood.